Coming at you from Tokyo, Japan, my name is Dave and this is my Toyota Altezza. I've got my catch tank set up over here. The feed line runs from under here to this one here, and then the output runs through under the back and then connects up underneath the pipe across filter. I need to take this cover off. Always forget to bring a box to put the bolts in. Today I want to try and deal with this. These are free, sort of floating, and they're touching on this and they're touching on that. I'm not really liking that. So I got these things. You can't even see them. They're little hose clips. I use them down on the oil cooler lines. That's convenient. It's the same size as these. So I want to put one just in there if possible. Need to get that out of there. We get this out of here first. Yes. How about that? Also a yes. Or you can just pull it. Actually, yeah, that helped. Just pulling on this actually bent it up, not touching anymore, so that's good. The way these things work is one side is countersunk and the other side is threaded, so you can join them together with a bolt. What I did down here is actually drilled both sides out and then ran the bolt the whole way through onto a bracket. So I want to do the same thing in here. Take this nut off, use this instead, and then I'll have something to screw into. The problem is the stud has this lead-in part, and if I feed this thing on, it's going to eat up the potential thread I have to attach the thing I want to attach with. So I want to cut this end of the stud off without ruining everything everywhere. Because I don't have a Dremel, I'm going to try and get it done with this, which is basically a Dremel bit in a drill. I'm sweating like a pig on a spit. All you can see is the back of my hand. I'm going to break my own rule here and probably cause sparks. Ugh. Damaged the post already. That was quick. Okay, get our hoses out of the way. Ugh. What happened? Uh-oh. Oh, we're out of battery. Damn it. Backup battery and away we go. Oh. It's just going to ruin itself. Yeah, it has. It's gonna snap off now. Yeah, it's all bent. Look at that. Glorious. Hopeless. Look at that. It bent again. It's gonna keep bending until I snap it off. Again. I don't want that to drop, so I'm gonna go get a magnet. Hopefully this works. Oh. Yeah, that was great. So let's cut this little piece off. That will allow this thing to go on and leave more thread for this. Gotta get that nut off, which will clean up the threads. Okay. That post might be a bit long. It doesn't actually need to be that long. I could cut it down, get the hoses closer to the wall. That would be ideal. That's too long. How deep is that? Let's find out. You know, I have a set of digital calipers, but they're always flat. I feed that in there, and we can see that that's 12 mil deep, which is more than enough, but I think probably ideal. I mean, 6 will probably do it. Back in the shed, I'm going to color this in with marker pen. Need that to dry. Set this to 5 mil. We can scratch away the marker pen if it's dry. Why don't you just go out and buy another one? That would probably take more time. Well, actually, I'm sure that will take more time than it will for me to just cut this down. Aren't you worried about destroying the threads? No, I'm not. Moving in the vise because I didn't do it up tight enough. Oh, I hate using gloves. I really do. I can't feel it. This is so much bigger than my thumb. Like, this fits, the thumb is huge, and there's so much distance in there. You got no... Just ranting about gloves. What the f... Let's tighten this thing the f up so that it can't do that shit. Take this trash off. Gloves are always either thin enough that you can feel what you're doing, but then they're too thin and you burn yourself, or they're good for hot shit, but then you can't feel anything. I think that's going to be close enough for what we're trying to achieve. Just going to put a bit of a bevel on it so that it's less likely to cut me while I'm installing it. There we go. It's probably still hot as all We need to rotate it because the thread inside might be damaged and it won't thread from this side. What we're going to do, load it in there real quick, grab an M6 bolt that's longer than this and just feed it in. And as it exits the other side, it will actually fix the thread. Yeah, that thread's quite messed up. It doesn't want to go through at all. There we go, done. Thread's fixed. It's a decent cut. I did a good job of that. Hopefully it still fits in the car. So drilled a hole in that, 6.5 mil. I've got my longer bolt. I didn't film that, I forgot. These things come with a bolt and the head of it fits in there like that. The problem with that is if you go to a regular stainless, the head's bigger, doesn't fit in. And it's not just stainless, here's a regular bolt, it doesn't fit in. So you're gonna need one of these smaller headed cap bolts. Lucky for me, I've got a smaller headed one that I just cut in half. Now it goes through and protrudes out the bottom, sticks out about 4 mil. And that'll be enough once I tighten it down. I should have tested this, but didn't. Whoops. All right, with the hoses in there, it sticks up like that. Now my bolt's not long enough to clear the hole. I need one of these that's 6 mil longer, but I looked through my box of bolts and I don't have one. File the end to make it nice. Unwind this so it fixes the thread if it's which it's not, we're fine. I'm going to load this into the drill press. This part of the bolt is taller than this part, if you know what I mean, so putting it in this chuck shouldn't damage the thread. The bolt we have is 9 mil. This one is almost 10. So we just need to spin this up, file it down, and yeah, that's nothing complicated about that, is there? If you don't have a drill press, you could actually, will I do it? I'll do it, I'll show you. Mount your drill in your vise like this, put the bolt in there, and you can do the same thing. Got my file handy, here we go. Oh, there's a bit more. It might actually work better because I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's 9 mil. Let's try it. Alternatively, you could bore that out to 10 mil, but I don't have any drill bits that have a flat face on them. All of mine have a taper. So the bottom of this will have a taper too, and it won't fit very nice. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. That was easy. Took a couple of minutes. Oh, Dave, but I don't have a drill press. Well, you don't need one. Can I reuse the zip tie? Yes, I can. Oh, wait, spoke too soon. Yep, there we go. Back in the drawer. Look at that. Perfect. Excellent. All right, try it in the car. Might be better to ins the one at the back there like that. Oh no, I split the damn, look at that. The hose split. How the hell did that happen? Now I'm ordering new hose. Absolute kick in the dick. Pretty mad. Pretty mad about that. Honestly, you buy the expensive hose because you think it's going to be better, and then that shit happens. Not very happy. Just fighting with it. Yeah, this is zip tie would have been easier. Why didn't you just zip tie it? Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing now. Oh wait, that fell down into there now. All that time I was trying on the wrong end. Oh, this is horrible to do. Whose idea was this? This is going to be even worse with 2 hoses. Yeah, this is. I think that bolt's actually bottoming out in there. It's just a locator though. It doesn't have to clamp it. Yep. Yeah, so when I get my new piece of hose, I can just do that. But it does actually need to be this long, otherwise it's not going to work. Order some hose from the internet. My Amazonian friend. I don't think this is from Amazon. I think this is from Yahoo Auction actually. It's going to take a week to arrive. Yo, talk about kissed on the by an angel. Next day delivery from Yahoo Auction. That shit never happens. I got hose. Excellent. Just went over the end of the bolt with a hand file, a few passes just to knock it down a little bit. really I'm talking probably less than a millimeter, but it might not make any difference. But then again, it just might. It certainly will not have made it easier to get in, but I was able to do it without too much trouble, so that's nice. I like how they put a hole in it. Makes it easy to open. Gonna cut this slightly longer, like that. Done. Put a hose clamp on it. Never to be removed again. This hose isn't exactly cheap. Well, that's not coming off. Whose idea was this? This is actually pretty silly because it's a real pain to set up. The hoses sort of don't naturally go in this direction, so it's making it quite difficult. What are you talking about? That wasn't that difficult at all. I want it like that. So I need that much cutting off. There we go. Not good for anything. Not true. You can use this stuff as like spacers or vibration control or insulation. Like if you had a wire that's rubbing on something, you could feed it through that and then that's going to protect it from rubbing. So not completely useless. One of the issues you have with this setup is the force of this bend is trying to push this joint that way. This is also trying to push it that way a little bit, and this one is kind of trying to push it that way. So you can see that that's not perfectly straight, but it doesn't actually matter. This shouldn't take as long as it's taking because you're f***ing around too much. Should have just cut it to the length that fit before, saved yourself the time. But it's always better to cut it too big than too small. That's back together, that's back together, that's back together, that's on, that's on. That shouldn't leak. Hopefully this doesn't cut into the hose. Shouldn't, but if it does, I'll be a bit upset. Grab my ratchet, which is gone. Can you see the ratchet? Day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Now I need to be careful that I don't short this out.